So I just got back from watching Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. If you haven't seen the movie, scroll away. With that being said, there are a couple of things that I liked about the movie. There are a couple of things I did not like about the movie. Firstly, I like the fact that I watched all the Mission Impossible movies because they do tie it back to previous Mission Impossible movies, and all, 7 Mission Impossible movies are kind of fresh in my head. I like that they brought back the CIA guy from Langley, the guy that created that vault, which was really cool. That was really cool that happened. Also, the fact that they bring it back to Mission Impossible 3 with the monkey's paw or that virus or whatever it was called. Like, oh, that's really cool. I also like how it always showed flashbacks of different scenes from other Mission Impossible movies. I still don't like the fact that Gabriel's in it because it's like we're giving him Ethan Hunt a backstory when super late into the franchise. Although I do like the way that Gabriel meets his end in the movie, which was like, oh, that's nice. I cried when Luther was unalive. That kind of sucked, especially when he was doing that last voice memo for Ethan after they defeated the entity. I started crying. There was no stopping it. I was also on the verge of tears because of Benji, because I was like, no, they can't do this, and they can't just do that. But they didn't, and Benji survived, which made me really happy. Another thing that made me really happy is the fact that nothing happens between Grace and Ethan Hunt, because even since the previous movie, you kind of see like some sort of like tension between them, and you're like, is it gonna go somewhere? Is it not gonna go somewhere? And I'm glad that it didn't go anywhere, because the end game should have been Ethan Hunt and Elsa Faust. All right, a movie is super, I guess, stress inducing, high stakes inducing, of like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Although full well knowing that everything will work out in the end, because it's a Mission Impossible movie and Ethan Hunt is always comes out victorious, but they takes it down to the wire. It's like hyperventilating. But the thing is that that everything will work out in the end, but you're still super stressed out, and I like that, because you already know what's gonna happen, and everything's gonna work out in the end, but you're still stressed out, and I love that. Like the way you're able to feel that. The only thing I essentially had main issue that I had with this movie is the fact that it was long. It felt long. It was just a lot of build up, and sure, there was high inducing stress sequences throughout the movie, but the action wasn't really there. I guess it was just a lot more stress action than action, if that makes sense. So there's that. Although I can applaud the movie because it did have the planning stages, the execution stages of what I want a Mission Impossible movie to have. Like, we're gonna plan it, we're gonna execute it, things are gonna kind of go sideways, and now we have to think on our feet. It did have that. It just felt really long, and it was really hard for me to sit through the entirety of the movie. But there is a window for Mission Impossible 9. If and when that happens, I don't know. But as far as a concluding movie, I guess it works.